every time, but I know a lot of people in the comment gave me honest critiques, so it's going to be very short. But I wanted to follow up on something very briefly. Last time we were talking about Cheslie Kryst, long-term boyfriend that they dated basically between 2017 and they broke up in 2019, August of 2019. Someone in the comments believed it was 2020, but I know for sure it was 2019 because there is an actual video where Cheslie speaks to Mike Johnson, and that video was uploaded on the Miss USA group April 2020. So she talked about breaking up with her boyfriend the year prior in August, which would have been August 2019. So I know for sure that she dated Peyton between 2017 and 2019. Peyton, if you want to know who that is, you got to watch my prior video. But there is a follow-up about her relationship with Peyton. It wasn't as beautiful as it appeared. The common theme that I feel that I have been seeing throughout the videos and interviews and Instagrams regarding Cheslie's life is everything that glitters isn't gold. That is truly the theme of this entire situation from what I have been seeing. So the relationship that Cheslie had with Mr. Peyton was not as beautiful as it seemed on Facebook. We looked at some of the Facebook posts that were public. Some people were in my, of course, like they usually are. There's always a negative Nancy's out there that were attacking me, saying, "Why do you have his pictures up and everything?" And it's a public domain. He posted these. He made them public. If he did not want us to have access, he would not have posted it on a public page, you guys, that everyone can just simply search in their their domain. Also, the LinkedIn, you guys, if that's common sense, it is on a public website where you can just type in his name and everyone can get access to what job he has, because he was the one that posted that information for everyone to see. So again, people, I don't understand what I might start just turning off my comments. I love the comments from the people that subscribe to me, but there's people that aren't subscribers, are very just disrespectful, and it's just not the right subject to be that way. But basically, this relationship appeared to be the perfect relationship. We saw the photos where he had photos of just this perfect relationship. You see that they're smiling and happy and everything seems glittery gold. I mean, in the comments that we saw from the mother, April Simpkins, saying that this was her favorite couple, just too cute, favorite couple. And then you could see Gary Simpkins, which I have found out to be the grandfather, basically the father of April Simpkins' husband, David Simpkins. So I had the names wrong, but, and then, so you can see Cheslie there saying she loves him. So the theme that I say I get from, Cheslie's life is that everything that glitters isn't gold. So today we're going to talk about this relationship a little bit. This relationship wasn't as perfect as it seemed. It looks so perfect in this picture. They look happy. We have these beautiful comments here on the outside looking in. I want you guys to each just kind of look at this picture without looking at all the things that we know and just think of what you think. When you see this couple, you think what? A perfect couple, my favorite couple, just like April Simpkins says. They look like just the great couple. But not everything that glitters is truly gold. Looking here at this particular picture, Cheslie won Miss North Carolina in October of 2018. It's and you guys to take notes because it's very important. In 2017, Peyton and Cheslie got into a relationship. Okay, they knew each other when they were 14. The dates are very important. In October 2018, and I can only assess this based on her Instagram. This picture is dated October 24th, 2018. I'm going to briefly play this video, and I want you guys just to look at Cheslie's emotions. I want you to type in the chat, based on how you're looking at her on the outside, what do you think she looks like to you in her emotions? Describe her emotions of what you think, because this is going to really explain.
The winner of Miss North Carolina USA 2019 is...
Oops, sorry guys.
Metro Cheslie Kryst. Cheslie, Kryst. Come on out. We got to have the both of me out here. Let's hear it for our brand new Miss North Carolina USA and Team USA, Cheslie, Kryst, and Eliza Minor. You've been an awesome audience. We'll see you next year. Have a great night.
Okay, so just based on that, so that happened October 2018. We know that Cheslie and Peyton were in a relationship. So when you saw that video, what did you think? Cheslie looked very happy, right? She looked like she was at the pretty much the maximum level of happiness you can think of, like she reached her dream. But behind, just because on the outside someone looks happy, you don't know what that person is really feeling inside. We're gonna talk about what she feels inside just based on her own statements in another TikTok. But in the day before she had to compete for this pageant, Cheslie found out that Mr. Boyfriend of the Year cheated on her. Now, we don't know the extent of that cheating, but there is some statement out there, I believe on a TikTok post or comment, where she says something about, you know, if a boyfriend makes an excuse about cheating, what kind of excuses do they usually make? And her comment was that, oh, it was just a kiss. So I don't know, maybe he kissed another woman. Who knows the extent, allegedly. But this relationship looks so happy. She looks like she was at the top of her life in this particular video. But we know that's not how she really felt inside, because just the day before she had to compete for this pageant, she found out that the love of her life had cheated on her. So what did she have to do? She put on an image, as you can see here, she looks very happy. When she went in pageantry, you have to understand, when judges look for a queen, they're looking for a woman who is optimistic, who is authentic, who is confident, who seems to be someone who can overcome any form of adversity. We are challenged with certain questions that would make someone, you know, a normal person would probably say, you know, for example, they say, what do you think about the potential response of, for example, President Biden and sending troops, you know, over, you know, in relation to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine? That, you know, a person probably would say something, you know, you expect someone to say something negative, but a queen has to be able to authentically, confidently portray an optimistic, hopeful response, you know, in all aspects, basically. And you see this on the outside. Cheslie looks so happy. And this is the type of character that she has portrayed her entire life, someone that is happy. She had to go into that interview when she talked to the judges, which is one of the highest categories in pageantry, and she had to present herself as optimistic, hopeful, positive, authentic, and confident. Even though the day before she went to compete, she found out that her boyfriend cheated on her. So all of us, people put in the chat that she looked like she was happy, but she wasn't. You're seeing her rejoicing, you're seeing her smile, but this TikTok video I'm going to show you is going to show how she really was feeling on this particular day.
So I saw this trend where people are telling the real stories for some of their Instagram pictures, and I'm gonna join. This photo is from the night that I won my state title. I just found out that morning before I walked into my interview that my boyfriend of the year had cheated on me the night before. This was the first time I'd ever appeared on the reel. For some reason that weekend I just got extremely dehydrated.
Exactly. We got to see concrete, direct evidence of how Cheslie handles depression, sadness, grief, mourning, heartbreak. She handles it exactly how she handled this situation, with a smile and with a mask. So exactly everything that everyone's saying about, oh, Cheslie looked happy and she was at the top of her life. No, this is how she handles it. Even in this TikTok, you can see that when she's talking about something that what a normal, reasonable person would normally feel extreme distraught, extreme heartbreak, depression, she talks about it in the most positive, upbeat way. Let's do it one more time. She just found out. She's talking about a very heartbreaking situation about her boyfriend of 2 years at that time. I was it 2 years? Yeah, 2 years at that time, or yeah, no, it was a year. Sorry, a year at that time, because she dated him in 2017, 2018. She found out he cheated. She found out that he cheated, but when she describes this heartbreaking situation that a reasonable person who would experience that type of heartbreak would feel, she describes it as if she's over it and happy. But we know on the inside, Cheslie was extremely heartbroken, extremely hurt. So she has a pattern. Cheslie has a pattern of wearing a outer exterior that she is happy when she is really extremely hurt and extremely distraught. And this is the same type of response you will see on her birthday on April 28th when she's using the laughing emojis to describe something that would be otherwise detrimental to her turning 30. She says all downhill from there was a very detrimental comment, but she basically covers it with laughing emojis. But that's not what she's really feeling. In this situation where she's talking about something very heartbreaking about her boyfriend cheating on her, she presents it in a happy, bubbly, bright way. But that is not the real feelings that she was feeling inside. So this is a concrete demonstration of how Cheslie responds to heartbreak and hurt. So let's look at this video just one more time.
So I saw this trend where people are telling the real stories for some of their Instagram pictures, and I'm gonna join. This photo is from the night that I won my state title. I just found out that morning before I walked into my interview that my boyfriend of the year had cheated on me the night before. This was the first time I'd ever.
So you see how she's smiling and very happy, but that is not the truth of what she felt inside. She felt deep hurt. So the more happiness you see her express when she's talking about the bullying on TikTok, when she talks about the trolling, when they tell her, to self-conclude and they make fun of her exterior and talk about her age, inside, she's really hurt and she's feeling pain about it, but she presents it in a way on the outside to the world as if she has overcome it and she is okay. Just like on the night of her competition with Miss North Carolina, you could see in that video she looked so happy, but inside she was extremely heartbroken. She was extremely devastated that someone that she thought that was the love of her life, that she'd known since she was 14, that she probably saw as someone she was going to marry. I mean, mind you, the mother said that this was her favorite couple. And they're probably saying, this is going to be your husband. This is my son-in-law. Those parents that love, the boyfriend. And you can see on this video, she had to put a mask on the entire competition. She had to go to that interview. She had to pretend to be happy and smiley, because when we do these pageant competitions, we have to keep that smile on. If you're not going to win the pageant, if you're in there crying and heartbroken, you won't even place. You would be cut. The first person, they will cut the first person to be frowning, crying is going to get cut. So, and in pageantry, sometimes you have to wear that smile even when you're nervous, even when you're afraid, or you're really inside feeling feelings that can be contradictory to what you really feel. This particular situation shows you all how Cheslie has been wearing this mask in all of her social media, showing you the happy photos when she's really depressed, showing you these sarcastic kind of happy demonstrations of heartbreak that normal people would feel hurt by. She talks about the microaggressions. Go back to the TikToks when she talks about microaggressions. She says it in a way that is kind of like lighthearted, where she portrays it on the outside that she's happy and over it and she is overcome it, but inside she is hurting and in pain, empty and deeply distraught. And this is the type of way Cheslie has been carrying on for her whole life. So a lot of people have become confused, thinking that, oh, she looks so happy in all her photos. Well, that's how she has been carrying on. She has been carrying on, this mask of happiness, of, being able to overcome everything so easily. And when she talks about, different experiences, but in reality, the common theme that I have been noticing is that all that glitters is not gold. Another key thing in this relationship was that after this situation happened in 2018, when he allegedly cheated on her, she gave him another chance. We know that because she carried on the relationship until August of 2019. So we know there was already toxicity going on. This picture here had us all so, and I'm telling you, this whole situation, and if you watch my prior video, it literally had all of us fooled. We were all fooled. Even myself, I was fooled when I saw this picture. Even in my previous video, I was saying, man, but for, her becoming Miss USA and moving to New York, she would have been married to this guy and had all the kids and lived happily ever after. And that is a complete lie. Even if she was in North Carolina, they probably would have ultimately broke up, because even while she was living in North Carolina, they already were having issues with infidelity. So that goes to show, we cannot look at a picture on the outside and then say, well, Cheslie would have never done this because she looks happy. That is how Cheslie has been. That's how she responds to stress. She responds to stressors or depressions or emotions by wearing a mask and pretending everything's okay on the outside. But in the inside, she was completely deteriorating. This woman felt so much pain. And here's what was happening with Cheslie. Because Cheslie didn't have anyone to talk to, she felt she didn't. Cheslie had a lot of friends. She had her mom, she had everybody else. But inside, Cheslie didn't feel she could be vulnerable. And I know people are probably going to argue with me. You need to go back to my other videos and I explain why. Because she's always been the protector, always been that strong outer shield. And because she felt she couldn't get it out and to express all this pain, and she had to keep putting on this mask because of her titles. When you're wearing these titles and you're in these leadership positions as Miss North Carolina, as Miss USA, you have to be positive, a leadership, someone who has overcome whatever situation that you've overcome. And now you are a leader in that particular situation or platform that you're now advocating for. So she had to keep wearing this mask as if everything was okay. And what was happening inside is she was breaking down. The more Cheslie held all this pain in with no outlet, the more pain and depression she felt. The more, and I'm not even using the right words that this woman was feeling, the more inside she was completely, it was as if, it reminds me of someone just continually being overloaded with so much pain and agony, not getting any form of release, and to the point where this person can no longer bear and contain it. But she has to keep pretending like everything is okay. That's why her mother found out very shortly before she did what she did, what happened, because at that point, that was when she had reached her breaking point. That was at the point where she could no longer hold in that pain and agony. So going back to this situation, when he had cheated on her, October 2018, she carried on the relationship additional, I think, 10 months, approximately 10 months. In that time, she may have, forgave him, but now when someone cheats, what happens? You don't have trust in that relationship. So there's a lot of toxicity. Cheslie admits in her interview with Mike Johnson, you got to watch that interview and you got to really sit and study that interview, because she breaks down some things in there. I think she even goes over her schedule in there. But in that interview, she talks about some of the things that she deals with in relationships. And she says that she's selfish. And so she's saying that because she pretty much builds her whole schedule with all these things to do. So what ends up happening? She doesn't have time for her relationship. So what ends up happening in that relationship? The person feels neglected. They're not getting the needs that they need. So what do they end up doing? They end up stepping out of relationship. If you don't understand that, the situations of relationship, you need to read the 5 love languages. That will really help you understand. But there's certain needs that each person needs in a relationship. And so if someone is so busy with all these things they got going on, and Cheslie's already admitted that she's selfish. That's what she said. And I'm not saying anything about her. This is something she says in the Mike Johnson interview. She says that's one of the things that she needs to work on in her relationships. And I've just put that together with her schedule. This woman is always busy. So I'm thinking, well, when does she have time for her relationship? And if there's not really much time for that, well, then what happens? The person steps out. Then she moves to New York. Now she's far away. She already knew he cheated on her when she was in North Carolina. What do you think she's feeling when she's out of the state? There was so much toxicity in that relationship to the point where it, as it would have inevitably happened, it ended as it, would have happened. We would have predicted that was going to end. Okay, so looking at that relationship, you could see on the outside, on Facebook, on the photos, on the night when she won Miss North Carolina, even on her TikTok when she talks about it, Cheslie wears a mask. Always that mask of happiness. This is an example that you need to apply now when you look at all the videos that she does, and she talks about lots of hurts and bullying and microaggressions, and you need to apply that same thing that we've done with this one situation to all of her videos, and you will begin to see that there has been a common theme that Cheslie does wear a mask when shield to cover her hurts and her pains and her vulnerabilities with the public. And she's done that with her friends and with her family. That's why everyone is saying that they were surprised, because unfortunately, as sad and as painful as this is, because it hurts so bad, because I was just talking to someone about this today, and this is where I got this full revelation, because the woman I talked to today was dealing with the same thing. But because Cheslie had no one to really, she felt vulnerable, she could be vulnerable with, she held all this stuff in, you guys. And who knows how many years she's been bottling this up. This is what led to January 30th. Because when you hold things in, that's why you guys need to learn. And when you're dealing with depression, you need to find someone you can trust, and you need to be able to let it out. I talked about this in other videos. You cannot just hold that stuff in. You got to let it out. And Cheslie, and sadly, felt like she didn't feel safe enough. Because she was that strong person. She was that backbone. She was the protector of pretty much everyone. She was the one everyone went to. She was the one that all her friends went to. She was the one that even her family members went to. There's actually a video where the brother talks about how, when he needed someone, he'd go to Cheslie. Like a lot of people would go to Cheslie. So she didn't feel safe to be, that vulnerable to other people, because she was the very example of strength. So when someone has this common thing of being strength, everything is always okay on the outside when it really isn't on the inside, then they don't feel they can come to someone, they bottle it up. And she bottled up all this pain, this agony, this heartbreak, this mourning, this despair, this overworking in her for many, many years, to the point where she reached a complete breaking point and no longer could hold it all in, and she gave up the fight. That is exactly what happened in this situation. So all that glitters is not gold. That is the common theme that I feel, the takeaway that I got from all of the things that I saw, that this is exactly what has been going on. So that's really all. I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I did a little bit more digging on this. Everybody kept telling me, look further in TikTok. So I finally did. Thank you guys for helping out with that. I'll do a quick in the chat. I'm not going to be too long, because everybody told me my other one was long, which it was. That was making a statement. She put career first, and this man wasn't even worth it. Yeah, true. Contrast the suit with that. Oh yeah, the Miss Alabama situation. I don't know. I might look into that one. That one, I don't know about that one yet. That's a good question, though. I might look into that one, the Miss Alabama one. That, I don't know. I need to study her and see what was going on in her background. I know it could be that. That's why I knew this was going to happen. There's going to be people that it's going to lead to it. Other people trying to do that. Let's see. It's not always easy processing our emotions. I know it's not, Beth, but I'm not saying, this is when people always misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not attacking Cheslie at all. I'm saying I'm trying to show the common theme so that you guys can understand the personality of Cheslie. And once you understand her personality and how she reacts to hurt, and how she, does this common thing of wearing a mask and presents things in a positive way, but it's not really how she feels, you will understand her. I'm trying to show you this as a way to help you understand her, because once you understand her, then you get an understanding of everything that was going on. That's all this is. It's not judging anyone, though. Just don't want people to take it wrong. Yeah, they're saying it's an accident, Beth. I know people are saying the Miss Alabama thing was an accident. So I don't know. I need to look at her a little bit more. I can't really give a comment on her because I really haven't. She wasn't someone I really followed. I have to look at maybe her videos and stuff and see. I'm understanding you're doing a great job. Okay. Thanks, Eliza. Because I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm not attacking Cheslie. I just want you guys to understand her and how she processes things. That's really the thing you need to get from this, is understand that the whole theme behind this is everything that glitters is not gold. On the outside, and we did it. Whoever was in my live Sunday, we all did it. Even I did it. We were all like, well, if she never won Miss USA, then she would be married and they would live happily ever after like the Disney princess. But that was not really the case. They already had toxicity in the relationship, infidelity, and all kinds of stuff. So that should be an example to you guys of this whole situation, that Cheslie carried this mask that I've been talking about in all these videos around in the public, on social media, even when she describes very painful things that a reasonable person would feel painful about. A reasonable person would feel heartbreak and pain if they had to endure a career where they suffer microaggressions daily, where they're always belittled after all the accolades that they have accomplished as a lawyer, and now they're being belittled and being told they're just a paralegal or questioned as a paralegal. A reasonable person, when they talk about that, would talk about that in pain and sadness. They wouldn't be saying it in a smiley, happy way. You know what it kind of makes me think of? It kind of makes me think of the Joker. Remember, in that movie, he would always smile at really sadistic things. And this is like an extreme example. I'm not saying Josie anything like this. I'm just saying it's just a way to picture it, that this person is using the opposite emotions of how they really feel. You know what I mean? Like, she's showing the outside that she's overcome this pain of microaggressions. She's overcome the trolling. It doesn't affect her. Meaning it doesn't affect her. Like, a lot of her TikToks are very, as if she has overcome it, but she really hasn't. This is what I'm saying. What's really going on in the background that we're not seeing is all the pain. What's really going on in the background is we're not seeing the nights that she's at home crying. We're not seeing the nights that she is in deep pain and hurt. We're not seeing the fact that this heartbreak with Mr. Payton, she didn't get over. And we know she didn't get over it because she has basically filled her schedule with all these other things to do and never really dealt with the heartbreak. Never did. I want to see if I can find, you know what, guys? I'm going to see if I can find the clip in this Mike Johnson interview. Hold on, guys. If I can find it really quick, and we're going to end this really fast. I'm going to see if I can find this clip in
about self-love and self-care, and we've got an expert, and we're going to get right to them. Okay, so one of the questions was, how do you relax?
Hold on, guys. This is the interview I'm talking about. I talk a lot about, that's Mike Johnson right there. But
Oh, well, it is like
this guy, I think they dated in the summer of 2020, but I do believe that, in my theory
use that
is.
example. I bury myself into a goal of mine.
I'm trying to see if I can
That's
find
all I
it.
can do. Like, bury myself into a goal and make that goal happen, and then slowly, you forget about it.
Hold on.
See, that's a more like succinct way to say exactly what they know. Like, these are my goals, these are my standards, this is what I want for myself, and this is what makes me happy. I think as long as they know that and they know how they can support you, I think that'll help to win your family to your side, so that they know you just want to be happy and they just should be there to help you reach that happiness.
What exactly was that question?
Hold on, guys. Hopefully I can find it.
Pressure. Yep. How do you deal with family pressure and find yourself out? Do you feel like you were always at that point, or do you feel like there was ever a time where like you didn't have big self-worth? Because I feel like there was especially there was not always a point where I could tell my friends stuff like that.
Oh wait, did she just say that? I think she just said she
because
did.
I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, maybe FDR. Just focusing on preparing myself for the future is what keeps my spirits high, and thinking about how I can be prepped for like my career going forward, how I can improve my own personal skills so that I can explore new opportunities going forward. So just I think, being flexible generally about what people volunteer. It's crazy.
That was all in my head, right?
Sorry, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to find
They
it.
were both
Hopefully I
talking
will.
about the imposter syndrome, which was fun. Exactly. And how long do you have to hold your power poses? Instantly, like before I do interviews now, I feel much more comfortable. I'm excited to be there. I think so. Somebody sent in the question, and I'm going to read both of these questions because they're similar. Someone said, "How to attract the perfect person?" And right under, you didn't highlight this one, Mike, but it's similar. How do I become an attractive individual in terms of personality? I'll let you go first because you were very passionate about this one, and I'll follow you.
I was extreme at the end of the day. I'm trying to be
I don't know where it is, you guys. This interview is forever too.
She's got kids too. But these women who have
a point to where you're gonna realize that your partner isn't making you happy. They could be doing every single thing right.
Oh wait,
like
I might be
textbook
here.
Perfection.
Hopefully.
Right. At the end of the day, it's gonna come. You're gonna realize it's gonna come from within. It's your perspective of things, right? I know people. My little sister, for example, I love talking about my sister, right? She has told me flat out she's dated perfect gentlemen, but she didn't like them for one reason or another, right?
long acrylic nails, like fake. But great question. Okay, so for those who don't know, the Love Language book, who's it written by?
Yeah, she talks about the love language too.
Gary Chapman. Okay, it's a great book with.
I'm trying to see where she gets to talk about her breakup, but hold on. Let's see.
Maybe we should. But I think that people have to read the book and not just do the quiz, because I was like, oh, I'm a dude. I like 5 hours, but first off, I ain't talking.
Second to that one. So it's really, really important to know what your love language is, and if you're in a relationship, and specifically know what your dialect is, because
right here. So if you like this book, definitely get my book coming out.
Coming out in September. We're so guys. I think it just depends. I think when you're single, you have a lot more room to be selfish and sort of self-centered. It really depends. I wish there was a situation that could give you. But I think there are times when there are other people who clearly just need to be put before yourself. Like if there's somebody in your family who is struggling, having a really hard time, I think you can put away your alone time for 5 minutes and go check.
I'm trying to find that
it really
part
isn't
where
like
she
a black
says
and white answer. I think one of the things I struggled with in relationships is being selfish and self-centered, if I'm being self-aware right now.
See, told ya. She just said it right there.
Aware of that helped me because I knew in relationships that I just tend to be a selfish person, so I was always cheating myself.
Right.
I was I hate to tell myself, but so I think it just depends. I think when you're single, you have a lot more room to be selfish and sort of self-centered. It really depends.
Super depressed.
I'm
making you happy and doing.
I wish I could find that clip though where she talks about. I might not get lucky and find it, you guys. But you guys will have to sit and watch this whole interview to get to it. But that part, at least we got to the part where I was telling you guys about her selfishness.
Oh my gosh, I met this guy on Instagram and now we're dating. Guys, you can find more than just relationships on Instagram. At some club in Charlotte, she was like, "Do you want to come out?" And I was like, "Shit."
You're not gonna catch me. I'm an introvert. I wouldn't say that.
You're not an introvert.
I then went to their page.
Exactly. So you can
reverse the reverse. I still got sparks or whatever. We ain't having sparks. Gorgeous. I think she has a suicide. And then I had another homegirl. She.
He listened to this part.
I allowed her to just vent.
This part's nothing to do with what I was showing you guys this, but
club. And to me, I think she is absolutely. I allowed her to just vent and or have her own time. And then I still got sparks or whatever. We ain't having sparks. But we went to a club, and to me, I think she is absolutely. She's a financial client of mine. Knew her for the last 20 years. She committed suicide, and then I had another homegirl. She sent me a picture of herself. She's what we would call somebody I could hold, and in the bed. She's a bigger woman, and it was. 2 of her friends on either side of her in this picture. And she sent it to me and she said, "Mike, I hate this picture. I've been looking at it for hours and I've been crying over this picture for hours. And I'm only sending it to you because
for some reason, she said she felt that I know how to be honest to her, but at the same time can encourage her, right? And after those 3 events had happened, and then when my homeboys telling me something, and just dealing with people that commit suicide in the military, I realized like there's a commonality within all of these things, and it's just not establishing love of self, not establishing a certain confidence within self, a certain motto to yourself to live by, right? A certain moral compass to live by within self. And being that dude again, I mean, I grew up with all women. My mom
Probably can't do all of that, but did you see her reaction to that when he talks about that?
Thank you, everybody.
I wanted to find that
For
part
me,
when she talks about
that's something that I'm syndrome.
the breakup.
One of the things that I really like that I
They tend to a big time.
I don't think I'm gonna get lucky, you guys.
You know.
I tried to find. I should have prepared, but I didn't think I was gonna show this.
I think being flexible generally about what we're doing now, and just knowing that like things are different, but you're gonna make it through.
It's a balance that we
said. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's so true. I think there are a lot of people who have low self-worth and are unhappy with themselves because they constantly are comparing themselves to others. Like, does my hair look as good as hers? Or am I as pretty as?
And I think that really instill myself
Each day mentally to improve my self-worth. Okay, you gotta go. You're doing this one first. It was, how do you deal with family pressure? Yep. How do you deal with family pressure and find yourself outside of their vision? Travel to the Miss Universe competition on Thanksgiving. And best believe there was not a single family member that said, maybe you should think about changing your travel plan so that you can make it here for Thanksgiving. No. I'm missing Thanksgiving this year, guys. I'm going to the Miss Universe competition. So I think just making sure that they know, like, these are my goals, these are my standards, this is what I Misha says, why is there an alligator in your bed anyways?
It seems impossible right now.
I have my blog, so
It's a goal of mine.
And not like over.
All right, guys. It'll take me forever to find it. You're gonna have to watch that whole interview. There is a part in there where she talks about her breakup, and I want you guys to study that part. I tried to find it. Sorry, guys, the live interrupted, so we're gonna end this now. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but we'll have to do it another night. But basically, the common theme and the takeaway is to watch that Mike Johnson. But the takeaway of this whole thing is that everything that glitters is not gold with this situation. You cannot look at the appearances on the outside and then take that as, you know, the facts or what's really going on. Just study the whole video with Mike Johnson. There is a section in that particular interview where Cheslie talks about the breakup, and she talks about how she responded to it. And that is what she's been doing her entire life, is she has been carrying on, holding and harboring all this pain for so long, and not having anyone that she can truly talk to and truly get all the pain out. And when someone holds in a lot of pain with all the long list of things that we talked about, I'm not going to go over that because we need to end this live. When they hold it in for so long, they can no longer bear it and contain it, and the depression becomes too much for them to bear. All right, guys, I'm sorry about the malfunctionings going on tonight. I wish you guys all a blessed night, and God bless you.